Hello and welcome to Archer Internal Strategies, How to Get Business Credit. So I'd like to just give you a short introduction of myself. My name is Mitzi Archer. I've been in lending for corporate America for over 30 years in many executive positions. And I decided this year to leave corporate America and share my knowledge. So, specifically with people who have businesses and startups and people who want to succeed in their businesses. So, let's get started with this presentation because I have a lot of information I'd love to share with you all, and we'll go from there. So, the first slide is the agenda. And I'd like to speak on what I'm going to be talking about. Personal budgeting first, business budgeting, the whole psychology of savings, business credit and how to get it, the tiers of business credit, business lines of credit, and the DUNS number. Okay. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about personal budgeting. So there's three types of budgets for your personal budgeting needs. And I want to discuss them in detail. Okay, so the first one is what they call a zero-based budget. What does that mean? Okay, so you're probably saying, Mitzi, what does zero-based budget means? Well, it means just what it says, zero-based. It allocates every single penny, okay, of your monthly expenses, and it has a purpose for every single penny. So this one is like for people that are kind of anal and meticulous. They're great planners, right? Let me give you an example. So say you make $2,000 a month, right? You start out with $2,000 a month. Out of that $2,000 a month, and that's your take home after taxes, $2,000 a month, you are going to categorize every penny that you spend, right down to the groceries, the gas, driving through Starbucks, McDonald's. All of that is going to go in your spreadsheet or your budgeting, however you budget, spreadsheet, write it down, however. But at the end of the day, that whole $2,000 is basically going to be accounted for. Okay. The second one is pay yourself first budget. And a lot of people do this today. And it's basically just what it says. You pay yourself first. You get that $2,000, right? And that could be $1,000 every 2 weeks. And out of that $2,000, you're going to give yourself 10%, right? That 10% goes into a savings account. That's how you're paying yourself first. You're taking that $200, because 10% of 2,000 is $200. You're going to take that $200 and you're going to put it in a savings account. You're going to take the rest of that money and you're going to pay all your bills. Okay? That's the second budget. Here's the third budget. So the second budget is for great savers because what you're doing is you're paying yourself first and you're establishing in your mind, I got to give myself 10%, right? It's just like people who tithe in churches. You're giving that 10% to the church. Same concept, you know. Some people are actually doing 20% because you're giving 10% to yourself and 10% to the church. All right. So that's a great saving strategy. The third one is the 50-20 budget. And so the 50-30-20 budget is just how it sounds. You're going to allocate 50% of your take-home pay for all the expenses. So you're going to work on that 50%, right? 30% is for your wants and your needs, right? Hair, nails, whatever. And then 20% is for debts, to pay down extra on debt, and savings. So that means you'll probably take out of the 20%, 10% to pay down extra on credit cards. And then the other 10% would be for savings. Okay. And this is great for a more simplistic saver. So it's a simplified way. You know, you got 30, you got 50, 30, and 20. All right. Any questions? Okay, put your questions in the chat. Great. Next slide. Business budgeting. So let's talk about business budgeting because this is really a good topic. Business budgeting has a lot to do with making sure that you choose a process to manage your business budgeting. And when I say process, that means bookkeeping. That means that you should be using either a spreadsheet or some type of bookkeeping, QuickBooks, something that's going to allow you to categorize everything that you're spending so that when it comes to tax time, you can document and remember everything that you spent on your business so that you can write those things off. Okay. Bookkeeping is huge. You must track all your funds used in your business bank account for business stuff. You want to make sure that you're not commingling, and commingling means that that you are using your personal income out of your business. So in other words, you're going into your business account and you're paying basically your gas bill for your house, or you're paying something that does not apply to your business. And then your tax person or tax preparer is going to say, what are you doing? We need to make sure that the business funds are separate from the personal funds. Okay. And I know a lot of people rob Peter to pay Paul. That means that you're moving money from your personal account into your business account and vice versa. You have to have that business account. You need to make sure that that business account is for your business. Okay. Choose the same type of budget that you use for your personal budgeting. So if you're going to do the 50-30-20, then you need to do that for your business. Pay off use 50% of your income, work out the numbers for what it costs to run your business on a monthly. Use 30% for your wants and needs. Maybe you want to do some wants and needs upgrades to the business. You could do that, but you also need to put some savings for a rainy day for the business, and that would be your 20%. Okay. Make sure you use some type of budgeting system. QuickBooks. You could use bookkeeping, 1-800-accountants, or you could create an Excel spreadsheet for free and just drive your information in for bookkeeping purposes. Okay. Another thing is, when running a business, you need to forecast, okay, on your monthly and yearly expenses. How much is it going to cost you? How much money do you need to run your business? How much money do you need to run your business, right? What are the recurring fees? What is the business phone bill that you need to pay every month? What are the subscriptions that you need to pay every month to keep your business running, your website up, okay? There are so many different things that you have to pay on a monthly basis. So make sure that that's the whole bookkeeping piece. So you add all of those things up and come up with a forecast All right. So if it costs you $5,000 a month to run your business and you're only bringing in $3,000, then you're in a negative of $2,000, which means that $2,000 has to come from your personal. So if it costs you $5,000 and you need to make a profit in your business, then you know that you need to make $10,000 a month, right? 10 grand a month. You have to set goals for your business. And in order to set the goals for your business, you'll be able to succeed. Okay? Business budgeting. Next slide. All right, let's talk about the psychology of savings. Many of us are conditioned to think that money comes into our accounts, and the minute it comes into our accounts, then it goes out quickly and constantly until you don't have any more money. I know a lot of people can relate to that, okay, because that used to be me. Paycheck is coming and it's spent before it even hits my account, because I already know what bills I have, I already know what I need to carry me into the next week, the next 2 weeks for until I get another paycheck. But see, that's where the budgeting comes in. And when I talked about in the previous slides, when I talked about the 3 different budgeting modules, you have got to choose one. Choose one and stick to it. And if the one doesn't work, then switch to a different one. But you have got to budget, because if you budget, right, it's all a mindset and a behavior. If you budget, you know how much money is coming in. Then you're going to start saying, do I really need this? Because a lot of times we are the perfect consumer. We spend and we buy things that we don't need. And that's me too. We buy things that we don't need, and we become, conditioned to spend money on things that we don't need, that don't really bring us value, right? So when you start thinking about that, then, your behaviors are most definitely going to change. You'll be able to implement some strategies in regards to improving, right? Self-control. Self-control is huge when it comes to budgeting and creating financial goals and financial literacy. Financial literacy means that you are saying, okay, yeah, I like expensive things and I like to spend money, but do I really need it right now, right? I need to get my business off the ground. So now I need to create some structure, and I need to put some money back into the business. I need to make enough money to pay for my personal stuff or pay myself, right? Okay. And we'll get into that slide. But you need to understand that budgeting is huge, because it's going to help you create a plan to stick to, so that you see how much money you're spending, right? And how much money you're spending on things that you really don't need. Okay. And then we wind up learning how to change our behavior. All right, next slide. Business credit and how to get it. So, establishing business credit, there is a whole bunch of different components. Let's just talk about where your business credit and who your business credit is reported to. So our personal credit, we have a FICO score, right? And with our business credit, we have a PAYDEX score. Same concept. Your business credit is reported to the following credit bureaus. Dun & Bradstreet is a business credit bureau, okay? Experian Business is a business credit bureau for businesses, and Equifax, small business credit bureau. Some creditors will allow you to get credit only with your EIN number, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Most of that is net 30, which means that you have to come out of pocket to establish your credit. And you see a lot of people on TikTok, Facebook saying, oh, apply for this. Just go and apply Uline, all these different places, which I have those places and I'll tell you more. But what they don't tell you is that you have to spend money to help you build your credit all over. Okay? Before you apply to any business credit, you should freeze your personal credit so that your personal FICO is not pulled with all three bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All right. Let me explain to you what freezing your credit does. All right. So as you're building your business credit, if you freeze your personal credit, you are basically going to go to it's very simple, each one of the sites, right? You will go to each one of the sites, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and you will type into Google, you'll type into Google and start with Equifax. And what you're going to type in Google is you're going to type in Equifax freeze my credit. Pull it up. The first thing that will come up is Equifax freeze my credit. You will go into Equifax and create a sign-on, put your information, register, and it's just that simple. You'll go to the next slide, slide where it says freeze my credit temporarily, and you'll click on freeze, and that's it. You'll get a confirmation number. Now, one thing I want to explain to you, when you freeze your credit, you can't apply for personal credit. If you do apply for personal credit on the personal side, not business, but on the personal side, you will have to unfreeze it. And that's fine. Just go back onto the website and unfreeze if you're trying to apply for personal credit. But in the meanwhile, you're holding your FICO score so that the people that you're trying to get business credit from will not pull your personal credit. Because if they pull your personal credit and you're already at a low FICO score, it's just going to pull it down lower. So freeze your credit, okay? And then apply for your business credit. And so when they just run your credit and they ask for your social, plug your social in. It's going to come up that your credit is frozen and they will not be able to go any further, okay? So therefore, they'll have to give you some type of credit on your business credit, which is probably, if you don't have any business credit yet, which is probably going to be a prepaid account, okay? And I'll go into this deeper when I go live. All right. Next slide. All right, here are the tiers of business credit. All right. So this is what I was talking about. So your first tier are all net 30 accounts. All of them. Uline, you're going to apply for a net 30 account. Quill.com, which is an office supply. Uline is also office and different things that you can purchase through Uline boxes. Divvy is really good. Divvy is also a prepaid account that helps you to build your credit. Crown Office Supply, net 30. Surety, net 30. Now, I had a conversation with a Chase banker, And Chase has a small business program, right, that you can apply for a business loan to start at 25K. But here's the downfall. You have to be in business for 2 years. That's why a lot of times they say, oh, go try to get a business loan from a bank. You'll never get the business loan from a bank if you're a new business. You need 2 years in business and 2 years tax returns. And you need to show them that you're making some kind of money, and some kind of money is going through your business bank account. All right. That's for your tier 1. Tier 2 creditors, Amazon Business Credit Line. Tier 2 means tier 2 means that you have done all the work and you have these at least 6 net 30 accounts. Okay. On the tier 1 that I have to add on there is nav.com. And that's a really good one as well, because they keep you on track with both your personal credit score and your business credit score. Okay. Your tier 2 creditors. So after you've done your tier 1, you've paid all of them on time, net 30, then you go to your tier 2 creditors. Amazon Business Credit Line, you can apply. Chevron Business Gas Card, Staples, Office Depot, Wayfair. Those are just some. There's a long list. I have a long list in which you can purchase on my site. And it also tells you what the minimum FICO score is. If you have a good minimum FICO score on your personal credit, or you've also built up your Paydex score to 80, all right, which I'll talk about on my last slide. Tier 3 creditors. Tier 3 creditors is JCPenney's, Home Depot, Floor Decor, and Sam's Club. All right. Those are creditors that will give you a decent limit, basically. But, like with Sam's Club, you need a 620 FICO. If they are going to, if you don't have any business credit, you need a personal 620 FICO score to move forward. All right. Okay. Next slide. Business lines of credit. Now, business lines of credit is after you've gone through tier 1, your net 30, tier 2. Okay. You have a couple of tier 2 accounts, credit cards. Tier 3, you've got your tier 3 stuff. Now you're at the business credit line. Now they can go into your bank account. They can see that there's money coming in. You've probably gotten business credit cards with a decent limit. So you were able to either pull cash off of those cards or use the cards to build more passive income. And now they can see that. So what you can go to PayPal, Capital line of credit, a Stripe line of credit, Fundbox line of credit for working capital, and then QuickBooks Capital line of credit. You can also apply for an SBA loan. And that shows that, you've been at least 6 months, you have income coming in, you built up your business credit, you're showing money going in and out, and your bank account, has money in your bank account. Now you can apply for your business line of credit, which can help you tremendously if you want to hire, one employee, couple of employees, depending on what type of business it is. Get money for working capital so that you can put people on payroll and you're putting back into the business so that you have a decent amount of money. All right. I hope this information is valuable to you. Let's go to the next slide. Your DUNS number. So when you apply for your DUNS number, it comes from Dun & Bradstreet, okay? And this is attached to what I talked about before, your Paydex score for your business. It's just your Paydex score is similar to your FICO score, to your personal credit, but this is for your business credit. Dun & Bradstreet issues a DUNS number, and it represents the likelihood of your business paying suppliers and vendors. Okay, so it shows your pay history, how you're paying these vendors. This is tied to the net 30 accounts that we talked about, right? This is tied to the net 30 accounts. So those net 30 accounts that you set up, you ordered stuff, you did a net 30, always pay your bill before the 30th day. Don't wait till the 30th or the day before. Pay it a week in advance. Put a reminder on your phone, okay, that Uline is due at XYZ month. Do your next net 30 account is due. Make sure that you are putting reminders so that you send those payments out, because you need to do that for 6 months so that it builds up your Paydex score. All right. The Paydex score is anywhere from 0 to 100. The prime score for your business is 80. If you got an 80 Paydex score, you could go in, get lines of credit. You can go in, use that information to buy something in your business name, as far as a car and things like that. You have got to build credit and show that you've been putting money in the account. That's what banks look for. That's what lenders look for. Like I said, I have over 30 years experience on the lending side, and I ran teams. I was also an underwriter, and what an underwriter does is we get the loan package, right? We look through the tax returns, the credit report. We look at the bank statements. We look to see how long the person has been employed. Did they jump around from job to job to job? This is all before, like when you are going to apply to get a loan for a house. Those are the kind of loans that I approved. I signed off and said, I'm going to approve this person, and my signing authority was $2 million. So I had an opportunity to give a lot of people houses, approve their home loans, just depending on what the credit looks like. And is there a history of them being able to save, right? You have to have that behavior to show the banks or any creditor, not only the banks. You have these fintech companies now, they're doing the same thing. If you try to borrow, let's say you want to borrow $50,000 and it's a fintech company. A fintech company is not your average lender, right? They are basically going to say, okay, you want to borrow $50,000? We're going to give you $40,000. You're going to have to make payments every day. I want to repeat myself. Every day. So you're going to get a $40,000 loan, okay? Your payment will probably, with a fintech at $40,000, probably be about $600 a month. Okay, anywhere from $500 to $600 a month, and you're going to have to pay it off in 1 to 2 years. So what you're going to do is you're going to set that money aside out of the $40,000 that you need to pay back, and then whatever is left is what you're able to spend. You would have to take that money that you need to pay back to the fintech company, set it in a bank account, put it on auto pay for them to take the money out every day, and then your balance, whatever the amount is left, that's what you're going to use towards your business. And that's how you're building your credit. The fintech companies are totally different from the banks. I will tell you that right now, because the banks will loan you the money if they can verify. That's your key word. Verify that you're able to pay it back and you're not a credit risk. All right. So building your personal credit is huge. It really is. It's huge, so that you can get business credit. All right. This is major. And my classes go deep into this. So just sharing. All right. There's a lot more information I can go into, but I just wanted to do a quick um, presentation on, what it really takes to build your business credit. And I did a high level. This is high level, which means that you know it's I'm giving you just the basics. But I will come back with more details in regards to getting approved and what you need to do to fix your credit, and what you need to do to, once you do get your business credit, how you need to keep it to basically get higher limits. Okay. Thank you. And I hope this was great information for you. Please give feedback. Thanks.